Leader of Opposition R. Ashoka has written a letter to the National Commission for Women (NCW) citing raising numbers of sexual assaults on girls in Karnataka, demanded urgent investigation and intervention as well. My colleague Belly Thomas with us on the broadcast to give us more on this. Belly, help us understand what exactly has been penned in this letter.
Asawari, the leader of opposition R. Ashoka, has written a letter to the National Commission for Women citing the rising number of crimes against women in Karnataka as such, and he goes on to say that he also urged the commission to send a fact-finding committee to the state as early as possible and investigate into the sexual assaults on women in the state. He also said that in just 4 months there have been 979 incidents of sexual violences that have been reported from the state, and in that around 114 are from Karnataka. And he goes on to say that our women and children are living in fear due to the Congress-led government's criminal inaction, is what he calls on. So he goes on to say that he seeks the center to or the National Commission for Women to send a fact-finding committee to come to the state and investigate into the sexual violence that's happening day to day, is what he's saying. But a lot of cases have not been reported also, he mentions there. And this is a city where reportage do happen more, and such crimes are coming to light, but there are a lot of crimes that are not being reported also. So we'll have to work on that also, is what he's trying to tell in this letter.
Okay, all right. Belly, thank you for sharing all those details with us. Ms. Joyita Basu, I leave the last word to you. The reason why we're having these conversations is to make sure that we don't have these conversations in the future, to make sure that incidents like so don't come to the light. This can't become the new normal. With that being said, how do we make our campuses safer?
There has to be greater, I would say, involvement of law enforcement agencies. And even otherwise, I would say the campuses, in particular the universities in particular, it is their duty to provide security on campus. So until and unless they can, they earn enough money. There has to be private security, that is one area. And then introduce cameras everywhere. You have to have cameras and put the fear of God in all these kids. Until and unless you do that, and it has to be done strictly, there should not be any favoritism in this at all. Okay, fine, somebody said, some pastor's night comment, maybe on a fellow student, deal with it with a heavy hand. Unless and until you put the fear of God in all of them, all the students, I would say, men, the young girls, boys, everybody. And so that there is a problem that happens in the universities is ragging, all right. So you see, even girls are involved in this. So certain things are basic. The universities will have to teach their students and increase security and use technology to ensure that there are no corners or there are no places where there are cameras everywhere. You have to have them.
Right, absolutely. With that, Seema Kausar, Shamsharish Rain, Mr. Sanjay Sahai and Ms. Joyita Basu, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this very important discussion.